I'm Leticia Gonzalez. Welcome to the video version of the I-20 Sports Talk. Today, I interview Leticia Vieira from Brazil. Leticia went to College of the Desert, then transferred to Holy Names University. She explains why she took a year off of the tennis team and how that led her to get a scholarship at a 4-year university. Let's take a look. All right, so today I'm here with Leticia or I don't know, Letty. I don't know what else they can call us in the US because yes, we do have the same name. Hi, thanks for being here.
Hi, Lily. It's my pleasure. LT, it's one as well.
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't heard that one yet.
Huh?
Maybe someday after like 7 years living there. All right, so we met in Palm Desert when we were at COD. First of all, how was the experience? How did you make the decision to go to the US to play tennis?
Well, actually, I was just finishing high school and I had no idea what to do with my life. And pretty much I applied for like 5 universities here in Brazil, and each one I applied for a different major. I was like, okay, let's gamble. But then I was like, maybe I'll just go to the US and go to a community college, because then I'll have the chance to take some classes in each different major and decide what I actually want. I was pretty young when I graduated. I was 16. So I had still 1 year to go to the US, and went pretty young too, when I just turned 17. So I think it was a good decision.
Wow, 17. So you were underage when you got um, to the US. Did you know how to speak English?
Yeah. No, not at all. It was a tough first semester, to say the least. But it was funny, so I laugh a lot.
Imagine. So how was the first semester? Did you take like hard classes or just the basic classes?
No, actually, I pretty much took English and mathematics. So, yeah, it was like, I think 3 courses of English, because as I as I told you, my English was like zero. I had no English at all. But
Well,
it was good because, yeah, it was good because I actually learned how to speak English. So
that's
the
good.
second semester was easier.
That's very good. And I mean, when I got there, I didn't know how to speak English, and then we met, and I remember you were always like correcting my essays and everything. So
I do that in Portuguese too with people. It's annoying, but it's.
I remember that. It was a good time to say because I got there, I didn't know English, and then you helped me, and we just met there. Like, I think you were like my first friend there, to be honest.
Oh, good times in COD, huh?
Yeah. So going back to it, did you go primarily to play tennis?
Permanently,
Primarily,
primarily.
yeah.
Yes, and because, well, I actually didn't want to stop playing, but as I said, I also didn't know what to do with my life. So I think both decisions came in hand when choosing going to the US.
Yeah. So did you got there and you had one season that maybe didn't go as planned? Tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about that.
Well, my second semester there, my second semester, yeah, actually my third semester there, I was almost failing a class, but I didn't. No, actually, I was not failing a class. I almost got a D in a class, but I ended up passing. So I had some trouble with my coach, and but I told her, I was like, "Look, I passed the class," and she said that well, okay, you can come back and play. You can play in the team. And I was like, okay, but I'm in Brazil right now, and my tickets are already booked. To, I don't know, let's say January 20th. And she wanted me to exchange, to switch the tickets for like January 3rd, but it was gonna be really expensive to do it. So, and she had said some stuff like not so nice to me before, so I was just like, you know what, I just I ended up playing the next one, which was a great choice, to be honest, because it was a season that I played with you guys, with you, Laura, and many more Brazilians. The team was going through a weird season, the season that I didn't play, actually.
Well, that was a good choice because I remember we got there. We were like four Brazilians on the team, and then you were there, and we talked to Jay, and you joined the team. The team, and I remember he talked to the last coach, and she was like, "Yeah, maybe you shouldn't get her on the team." And I remember him telling me he was like, "I'm so glad she joined the team and everything," because
Yeah.
it was a great season with like five Brazilians and then we had other Americans. So that was a great decision, which opened you doors to then transfer to Holy Name University, right?
Yes, definitely. I'm glad the coach changed too. Jesus, you would be awful. But but I think it was much more, let's say, not enjoyable season, but it also, as you said, it opened doors for me because we did pretty good in that season, and I could apply to universities that were closer, and ended up choosing a very nice one.
Yeah, and how was that transition for you to leave Palm Desert, such like a small city and small college, to a bigger university in like San Francisco area, which is Oakland?
Oh, I'm biased. I love the desert. I don't know why people don't like the desert.
I mean, everyone
Seriously,
loves the desert.
I know that sounds, yeah, it's gonna sound crazy, but San Francisco is cool for vacation. But to leave, I don't know. I had a hard time with the weather and living on campus. I was used to live in my own apartment. I had my own apartment, and I think the two changes that were major to me was living on campus and the weather. It was very moody all the time, and the desert, is always sunny, bright, no clouds in the sky.
Yeah, that's definitely how the desert is. And we even joke like everyone that leaves the desert one time they come back because I
I
don't
know.
know. I
It's like
did.
a magnet.
I did.
Seriously,
Yeah, it's
there's a reason for
yeah,
that.
yeah, it's definitely beautiful there. And I know you're a very adventurous person, so there are a lot of hikes up there and in the desert, and also in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, I didn't do as many hikes as I would like to have done in San Francisco. I have to go back there one day.
And how was the team at Holy Names? How was that experience with playing there?
Oh, it was great. I actually played a lot of doubles there, which is my favorite. So, you know, we had I had a coach, an assistant coach called Trina. She was so nice, and she made me feel so, at home with the team, and the team was like so together, close together. So it was a pretty good experience. It was different because living on campus, okay, 5 a.m. practice, you guys, and I was like, what? Jesus Christ. But it was good. It was different. I I like the desert training more than Holy Names, but maybe that's just because cultural too. I don't know. Like we were so many Brazilians, and culture is a it's a a part, né? Plays a role. But in Holy Name was pretty good too. We had like memorable travels. It was awesome.
That's awesome. What was your most memorable travel or trip you had with the team?
At Holy Names,
Yeah.
Denver,
Wow, nice.
definitely Denver, Colorado, because we were in a series of like winning in a row, like nonstop, and we had so many, and I clinched the last match. So it was really nice, and we really bond together that trip.
That's nice. Clinching a game is always the most memorable part of playing college tennis because
I know.
all the family comes together, so it's so great.
And you know how like I have trouble with my knee, like I'm basically an old lady with that. And I was like, seriously, I had like hurt my knee, and I was like playing all,
Oh,
horrible one, but giving my best, and it worked out somehow.
that's good. And how you mentioned you had knee problems. You had a surgery, right?
Yeah, at my left knee.
How did the university and the coach deal with that? I hope you're enjoying this week's episode. Make sure to follow the I-20 Sports Talk on Instagram and listen to the podcast version of it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. Now, let's get back to it.
Dude, it was actually at my seniors match. I played doubles. We won at doubles, and then I played singles, and I was winning 6-0, 4-0, about to win my seniors match, and and I tore my ACT,
Ooh.
and pretty much, the university covered it all, because it was considered like injury at work, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I had insurance and international insurance, and whatever my insurance didn't cover, the university cover uh, the surgery and the rehab afterwards. So it was pretty nice.
Yeah, that's very good. I think it's very important for people to know that the insurance and the university, once you get hurt or something happens to an athlete, they cover everything basically. It's very awesome that they have that outlet there.
Yes, every student athlete, I think every international student actually has to have uh, insurance. We have to have an insurance. Like, it's expensive, but once you are at risk because you do like sports pretty intense, like all day every day, it's good to have one for those cases. And the university always covers the rest if it happens during practice or during a match, during a trip, anything.
Yeah, that's very good. So after so after you graduated from Holy Names, you did your OPT back in Palm Desert, right?
I already knew I was going back to the desert once I was about to graduate. So what happened is I also injured my knee right before going back to the desert. So I started working with early intervention in kids on the autism spectrum, and it's a job that you have to move a lot. So I was with my leg not so right yet, so I missed like 2 months of OPT because of that. So I just had like 10 months of experience, but it was a pretty good experience. I moved back to the city I really like, I love actually, and I got to work with kids. I've always wanted to work with kids before. So it was really cool.
Very nice. And you graduated with a psychology major, which is the kind of job you did in Palm Desert and what you are doing now. Tell us a little bit about your job in Brazil now.
Well, I still do early intervention in applied behavior analysis with kids on the spectrum. It's somewhat like what I did in the US. It's the same approach, the same science behind, and it's early intervention as well. But in the US, I used to work within home therapy, so I would go to the kids' house. And here in Brazil, I go to their houses sometimes. I go to clinic as well. So it's pretty cool. We have a team here that we work together. Um, it's like a family. I love it.
That's very nice. It sounds like it is kind of being on a team, just like you were on a team playing tennis, though, right?
Yes, definitely. Like we help each other with whatever we need. Um, it's basically the prize is the kids' development.
Oh, that's
You
very
know,
awesome.
it's pretty
And
cool. I love it.
you have been in Brazil for 3 years or 2.5 years?
I don't know. When did I come back? I came back on September 2017. So yeah, it's been 3 years already.
Do,
It's been 3 years. Yeah,
do you remember
almost three and a
how
half
was
years.
that?
What?
Do you remember how was that coming back after so many years leaving the US?
Yeah, I'm a little impulsive. So just one day I woke up. I was looking for my visa was gonna expire, so I was looking for other jobs in the US or that I could, make my visa last longer. And one day I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop looking for it. I'm just going back to Brazil because my boss there told me, oh, okay, we can do it for you. Apply for you. Uh, but I wasn't really liking working at home with kids. It happened some weird situations with me over there in the kids' houses that I work with. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to Brazil and see whatever I can find in experience, and just to gain a lot of experience before I do my master's, and then I'll come back to the US to keep studying. But I came back and I just fell in love with my job here, and I was like, okay, I stay.
No, that's awesome. And you definitely seem like you love your job. So, and I'm sure you do, that's such a great job to have. And I'm sure you don't regret coming back.
Yeah, no, I don't regret coming back. But if I ever, I told my boss, if I ever leave my job, I'm going back to the US.
Well, now you are doing
It's
your
like,
master's, right?
yeah, I'm doing my master's online through an university, an American university, Florida Institute of Technology. But I miss my life there, but I like my life here too, and I prefer my professional life here definitely.
That's good. What is the best memory you have about living in the US?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, there was this time that I did a hiking trip with a friend, and it was like 12 days, 9 days, 9 days, 12 hikes. And we were just like in 3 states. We were just living out chips and beer and hiking and hiking all day and camping all night. It was great. I loved it. I think that's what I miss the most about the US, the freedom you have as being a woman. Here being a woman in Brazil is not an easy job because you have to always be watching after yourself. And in the US, I had that freedom of, okay, I'm just gonna take the car and go for a hiking trip by myself. And I did that pretty often, actually.
That's nice. How was your parents about that? Were they comfortable, or you didn't even tell them?
About the trips?
Yeah.
Oh no, they were crazy. They were like, share your location with me at all times. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, all the parents, they get super worried when they go
I
to the
know.
US, and even when they come back, like during the flights and everything. But I think parents don't know how much better safety is there compared to Brazil.
Oh, definitely. No, definitely. In the desert, I used to take my bike at 3 a.m. just to go for a ride because I had sleeping issues. Here, I can't do that like at 8 p.m. At 8 p.m., if I go get my bike and for a ride, it's dangerous already,
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
crazy.
And when you look back in your journey, so many things change, from you maybe not playing on the team to then playing on the team, and then being able to transfer to a good university and follow like your dreams, and then finding a job there, and then in Brazil. What was the biggest lesson you had of this whole thing?
The biggest lesson, I don't know. It was a great experience. I think I it worked. We go through a lot of hard times, right? Because we are in a sense we are alone. We have no family there, and then I guess uh, we have just to look. Okay, why am I here? What is my goal here? And putting this into perspective makes us stronger as a person, and not only as an adult we are becoming when we're, but also as future professionals. I think this is a great example of being dedicated hard work. We learn that a lot when we play for the teams because they take that very serious. So I think for young adults, teenagers, young adults, it's an important lesson that you take for the rest of your life.
No, that's well said, because we get so much more mature once we leave home, and learning a different culture and dealing with different people from all over the place. And I think that's very important. And sometimes parents, they kind of try to hide their kids under their wing, and maybe
Yeah,
letting them go, it might be a good idea too.
yeah, especially Latino families. Like for my mom, will live with her until I'm 35. You know?
Well, you had a lot of friends from like Latino cultures, Mexico, right? So you went like a lot of times to Mexico, and you end up learning
Oh boy.
Spanish.
I think I'm more fluent in Spanish than in English. It's a shame. Because I had like my best friends were American, Chilean, and oh, I'm sorry, Mexicans, Chileans, and Argentinians. So I was like pretty much speaking Spanglish all day.
And I'm sure you still speak with them. Do you guys plan to
Yeah.
do like a road trip together or something?
Well, Liz, my roommate, which is who's Mexican, we've been planning trips to Brazil and to Mexico for the past 3 years. It never happened. I wonder when it's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's gonna happen, because you
Someday.
two would both love it.
Yeah, I went to Chile last year in January of 2019 with a friend that used to study in COD too, Valentina. So I spent there like almost I don't know if it was 15 or 20 days. I think it was almost 20 days. And we traveled like so many places of Chile. It was so cool.
That's awesome. That's another aspect that is very important because you meet people from all over the world. And I mean, you travel to Chile and you knew someone there. And if you go to Mexico, you know someone there. So that's another aspect.
Yeah, it's like couch surfing, but with your friends.
That's a good one. All right. So just to finish up, what is the biggest difference between the Leticia that went to the US in 2011 to the Leticia now?
Oh, I think maturity and professionalism too. I think I became, much more aware on being on time, uh, putting in effort. If I want to have good results, I have to put in effort on what I do and what I love, and I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, that I think that's a lesson that we learn once we get there and we play on a team as well. And Americans, they're very strict on times and team. You have like to work hard because you're not playing just for yourself. You're playing for a lot of other people.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a good um, characteristics to have or to build up, because it's gonna make or break your professional life.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so to end this meeting or this chat, I would say let's play a ping pong game, just a quick game. I say a word and you say what comes to your head.
Okay.
All right, so drink,
Beer.
dessert,
Chocolate.
Palm Desert,
Bike.
trip,
Road trip.
sport,
Tennis.
family,
Dad. Mom.
a person,
Dad.
and dream job.
John.
Which is where you work now, so you already got
Right.
it. All right. Well, thank you so much again for talking to me. We laughed a lot, so that was great. So yeah, I hope you are well and having your dream job right there, and you're able to maybe um, trip, go on road trips again with Liz.
Yeah, I know. We have to have one too, Lily. You
Yeah,
owe me one.
I do. No, we'll figure that out. Maybe like in 3 years.
Okay, maybe 5.
All right, thank you, and I talk to you soon.
Thank you. It's my pleasure being part of this podcast.
I laughed so much during this episode, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Well, there's so many more stories to come, so see you back here next week as I will be having a fun chat with Diana Vlad, a tennis player from Romania. See you then. I'm Leticia Gonzalez in Brazil. Bye.